Hello everybody, it's your boy Platinum Equinox, and today we will be discussing the differences, the top 5 differences between the Bleach anime and the live action. So let's get started. Different Shinigami Shihakusho designs. Number 5. For instance, with Ichigo's design, you can see that he is wearing white sleeves on his arms. In the originals, he had no such thing. His Shihakusho is dark bluish with a unique design. But honestly, it seems that the design for all of these Shihakushos differ from one another in a unique way, including their own footwear. Ichigo and Renji's footwear look very much the same, whereas Byakuya's footwear is completely white, as if he was wearing a regular pair of socks. Maybe that goes for all the captains in Soul Society via the live action. Number 4. The hair designs. As we all know, Kubo wasn't fully on board with the live action due to the hair. Ichigo's hair color mainly. That was the biggest concern that Kubo had with the movie in the first place. In the live action, of course, the hair is the right color, but it is not spiky at all. If we move along and talk about Rukia, she is a different story altogether. Her hair was altered completely for the live action. At first, many argued about the true disposition of Rukia's hairstyle and already said the movie was going to be bad because of this. This obviously looks nothing close to what we know and love, but for live action, this style gets a pass in my book. I can still personally feel the character of Rukia in this movie through Hana Sugisaki, and as I said, I am personally not going to criticize it, but if you still hate it, then that is your own opinion, and I do have to respect that. Most of the comments I have seen surrounding her hairstyle are completely positive, so we'll just leave it at that. Byakuya and Renji have managed to keep their original looks, but with a few extra little changes here and there, as you can see. For Byakuya, his hair is braided in this version, and I don't really think it was braided in the anime, otherwise we could tell, because look at Tosin, his hair is braided. It is easily known as a big difference, you can see it, and that is a big twist. As for Renji, his hair is indeed red, but it is insanely long this time in the live action. The size is comparable to the last arc we got for the anime, the Execution arc, the Lost Agent. Also, if I might add a little thing that doesn't have anything to do with the hair designs, his tattoos are a little bit different. As you can see, we will do a side-by-side comparison. As for Chad and Orihime, Chad is fine, I guess. As for Orihime, there is a big change. The hair color is completely different. Why didn't this actor receive the same treatment as Sota Fukushi, who is playing Ichigo? Regardless, her beauty makes up for everything else. Let's just hope her personality is the same. If we are speaking honestly here, if you want my honest opinion on it, I'm glad they changed Orihime's hair color. Uryu's hairstyle remains true to the original. Isshin looks great, Urahara looks great, and also Karin and Yuzu look amazing. Number 3. The Grand Fisher encounter. In the beginning of this movie, it's relatively easy to guess how everything will go down, but it is highly likely near the middle of this film we are probably going to be in absolute confusion with the plot that will have us thinking, yikes, this never happened and that never happened, but it's probably going to be enjoyable to say the least. The number of threats in this movie that will pose a danger to the main character are 3 individuals. Uryu, sorta, and then Renji and Byakuya. And then also you have to count about 3 punk-ass hollows in the film, Fishbone D, the spider-looking boss from The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I said it. We'll just call him Goma. And of course, we have Grand Fisher, the final boss. The Fishbone D and the spider scenes feel original and true to the story. However, the new events that will take place with Grand Fisher speaks absolute volumes. Grand Fisher's appearance will not only be at Misaki's graveyard, but he will also appear in town as well to fight Ichigo and Uryu. It is also very confusing, but it is seen as one of the biggest differences for this film. Most of the fighting will take place here, in Karakura. Number 2. The Hollows. The Hollows suck out souls instead of devouring flesh. Gotta say, it's very surprising how they decided to approach the Hollows. Devouring a Soul Reaper, ghost or human beings, physical bodies, is no longer the case here. The producers have switched gears entirely, and they have decided to take an interesting approach, one which does not involve blood at all. The Hollows simply need to grab and suck out the soul, as shown with Rukia in this scene, where she defends Ichigo and his family. A very weird turn of events, but it works. Number 1, Encounters. And yes, we did talk about Grand Fisher, but throughout watching all of these trailers and promos, everything does look proper as it should be. Ichigo's home, his room, as well as his school and other known places throughout the first arc. But the encounters with all of the characters seem a little different. Actually, they seem far too different. For instance, in one scene, Ichigo encounters Byakuya, Renji, and Rukia having a conversation near one of the entrances of the Senkaimon. Well, at least, I'm pretty sure it's one of the areas for the Senkaimon, and this is not the only unusual encounter you will see. There are several actually. One with a night setting where Ichigo finds Renji in a public area, or I guess I would say a more private area, and Ichigo almost gets his head cut off by Renji. The next encounter is Uryu and Renji. Renji is being pursued by Uryu in this scene. In another scene, Ichigo and Uryu have an encounter on the rooftop of their school, and Uryu is pointing the bow at Ichigo directly, and it spells a lot of trouble. The next one is where Ichigo is in a park, where he tries to rescue the ghost boy from the spider-looking hollow, and Renji shows up out of nowhere, and for some reason saves Ichigo. Then ultimately attacks Ichigo, either before or after the boy is attacked by the hollow. Whatever comes first. Renji and Byakuya then take turns fighting Ichigo in Karakura Town, the same place where Grand Fisher shows up. It's all very confusing, but again, to have an interesting live-action story based off of something, changing everything around while still keeping core elements is a typical move for live actions. I just want to see this movie already. The hype is eating me alive. If you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know what you think about all of this in the comments and more. Be sure to follow my social medias located in the description. Subscribe for more on Bleach and other animes, and I will see you all in the next Bleach video. しっかり見てけよ。